Hello, everyone. We wanted to introduce ourselves as VITA board members so that you can get a feel for who we are and what the VITA Club is all about. After introductions, we'll run through a few slides to help you get oriented to our activities, schedules, and platforms. I'll start by introducing myself. I am Jennifer. I'm president of the VITA Club. And I am passionate about doing taxes. I've done them professionally for 7 seasons, and I've been specially certified as an enrolled agent since 2016. That being said, you do not need any prior experience or knowledge to participate with VITA. Our trainings are geared towards beginners, and we are here as a board to support you through your learning process. I can't emphasize enough the meaningful impact that you will have with helping our clients, generally low-income taxpayers, file their taxes. You will be removing both financial and emotional burdens in the filing process and helping them access funds that often provide a significant source of support to their families. Kevin?
Hi, everyone. I'm Kevin. I'm the Vice President of the VITA Club, and my role is mainly to support Jennifer in her role as the president and you all in this volunteer experience. I'm a senior at Washington State University, Vancouver, and I can tell you if you see yourself going into a future career in tax, the VITA Club is a great experience for you and an excellent item to have on your resume for the volunteer element, the club element, and the fact that when you complete a season, you can say you were a tax preparer in the 2021 tax season. So this opportunity cannot be ignored. I hope you all pursue it.
Hi, my name is Jean Hagee, and I'm volunteer liaison. My job duty are to keep track and follow up on club members' IRS certification. By joining the WSU VITA Club, you will learn a skill that will give you confidence of filing your own tax return and helping others in our community with theirs. Welcome, everyone.
Hello, my name is Martin Nishikawa, and I'm in charge of public outreach to the community. I like being involved in this club because I can actually contribute to the surrounding community while improving my understanding of personal income taxes. Even you're not sure if you want to pursue your career in tax or not, I think this is a great opportunity to get some ideas about how tax really works in the real world. Also, experiences that you're getting here will definitely help you become confident and employable after graduation. We hope to have a lot of new members this semester. Next, we're going to move on to the slides.
I appreciate your patience this last week as we were finalizing some of the club details. Thank you for reaching out with not a lot of information. Now that we've introduced ourselves, I know you are all anxious to know the whens, the whats, and the hows of the VITA Club. So let's start with when. We will start with our regular training period during this fall semester. We begin on Wednesday and continue until the week before Thanksgiving. If you can't make the meetings, don't worry. You can catch up by watching the slideshow on YouTube and doing the activities in our project management app. Our synchronous Zoom meetings will be on Wednesdays from 4 to 5 p.m. I will also have a drop-in study time on Zoom on Fridays from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. You can come if you have questions or if you missed the regular meeting, but there isn't an implicit obligation to be there, so only if it's useful to you. At the end of our trainings this fall, if you are following the outlined schedule, you will be ready to begin the certification exams. If you need more time, though, we do have a flex period from after Thanksgiving break to the end of January. January 31st is the date that you will need to be certified by. Whether you are certified or not by then, please do check your WSU email regularly through the break. We will likely be receiving some tax law and other kinds of updates from the IRS and the tax software, so we really need to keep up in order to be ready for tax season. You can expect tax season to start around the beginning of February, although we don't have an exact date right now. During the season, we will be running the site on Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. If a lot of volunteers are interested in adding another time slot on other days, that might be possible as well. Not all volunteers have to be at the site during those sessions. The minimum time requested during the season is 2 hours, but of course, more is welcome. I know I keep throwing out there this thing certification. So what is this certification thing? In order to get certified, there are 3 exams that we'll need to take. And then there's a couple of administrative things that need to get taken care of as well. As far as the exams, we have a Volunteer Standards of Conduct exam that is a multiple choice 10-question exam. It's really pretty common sense, and in fact, the questions haven't changed over the last 3 years, so I'm going to encourage you to look at that one early, even from last year's book, even though we don't have this year's book available right now. But if you go ahead and just answer those questions right now, it's very likely that you will be ready to go as soon as the tests open up to take that and pass it. We also have an intake interview and quality review exam. And again, that's multiple choice and 10 questions. It's a lot like the Volunteer Standards of Conduct exam. It's maybe a little less common sense, but I think I spent 15 minutes going through the material and posted it on YouTube. So it's one thing that, you know, once you kind of go through the material, you'll pretty well know the answers. So that's another one that you could get those answers on there early and just be ready to go. What we'll spend the bulk of our time learning is the basic tax law course. And so we have what's the basic tax law exam, and that runs usually around 30 questions. They're divided into 8 scenarios. About 5 of the scenarios will be just a couple of multiple choice questions, and then the last 3 scenarios usually have more multiple choice questions and then some fill in the blank questions. What you'll do with those last 3 scenarios, you'll input the information that they give you into the TaxSlayer software, and you'll get a tax return out of it, and some of those numbers you'll need to input. So you'll want to be putting that information into TaxSlayer before you sit down and say, I'm going to take this exam now. You'll want to do a little pre-work to be ready for that. The administrative items are, we'll need to sign and submit Form 13615, and that's our volunteer agreement. It, you know, essentially says that you're going to follow the volunteer standards of conduct, as well as it tells what certification levels you've taken. And then we will need to do an identity check. We just need to see your photo ID and make sure that it matches the name that's on that 13615 form. A little bit more about the exams. I want to emphasize that the questions on the exams will be provided ahead of time. They are in publication 6744. Right now, we just have the old 6744 from 2020 returns, but we expect a new one to be published here end of October, early November. So you will have those questions ahead of time. The exams are open book. You can use any resource, the internet, you can use the publications, the IRS publications. As we go through the trainings, I'll keep emphasizing publication 4012. So we have a lot of resources and you can use them all. The only thing you can't use is another person. The exams are not timed. And progress can be saved. So if you start the exam and then you find you need to leave for some reason, you can save your progress, just don't submit it. And you get 2 tries per exam. They have a test and a retest. The questions are slightly different in the test and the retest, but you do get 2 tries to pass with 80%. To get ready for those exams, of course, we have our training. And this can be done at our weekly Zoom meetings. If you can't make the Zoom meetings, as we've discussed before, it does not mean that you cannot participate. We have organized our materials so that you can self-study and you can do it at your own pace. Just feel free to check in whenever you need help. If you do choose to study at a different pace or entirely asynchronously, I do ask that you please stay in touch so that I know if you need help or if there's anything I can do to assist your progress. To talk about how we're going to run, I think I'll need you to follow me to my internet browser. So this first tab I have open our main course structure, and we're using Asana, which is a project management app, to help us kind of organize our way through our training. And you'll see I have here the lessons split up by week. So for week 1, if we enter here, you can see I've got kind of 3 sections. I've got our Welcome to VITA section, watch this introductory video, which is this introductory video. And I also have some instructions on how to set up your account in Link and Learn, which we'll kind of visit that site here real shortly. I just leave a little bit of introductions and some links in here to get you to the places you need to be easily. Also practice lab. So, and then in this first week, we'll be going through our volunteer standards of conduct. I have a video uploaded to YouTube. I've got, again, the link here to watch that if you can't make the meeting. If you're going to be at the meeting, that's the stuff we're going to go through at the meeting anyway. And then it's optional if you want to review the slide deck. I uploaded them for study purposes. There's some IRS publications. I want you to maybe browse them. Do not read them straight through. They're awful. They'll put you to sleep. It's just kind of to be aware of where the information you might need is. And then in this first week, as I was talking about before, I really would like you to just go ahead and look at the 2020 exam for volunteer standards of conduct and the intake interview and quality review course, and just answer those questions. You'll see that I've uploaded a PDF here of them. The reason why I want you to look at it early is because it can kind of build on itself the idea of this exam, and the questions are just not worth all the worry. And if you look at them early, you'll see that. So that's why I want you to go ahead and look at those exam questions early on. So after week one is a little different because we're just kind of getting set up. Starting in week 2, we have a little bit more of the regular structure that will follow. Each week has about 2 lessons to go through and then a little bit of tax slayer practice. So again, we'll have a video or the meeting for each lesson, and then optional review of the slide deck, optional review of the lesson in publication 4491 is where I get all of this information for the lessons out of. So if you want, and that's helpful, you can look at that. We have what we call our publication 4012, and that's our main VITA resource. So each lesson has a section that I just want you to go and look at that section and just see what's available. Again, do not read it straight through. Just know where the information is. So when we get into tax season and somebody asks something you've forgotten or you don't know, you know where to look for it. And then there's a few questions on Link and Learn, and I'll show you that site shortly, that I just want you to do them at the end to kind of get your brain awake. I know sometimes when we're passively getting information, it's easy for it to just kind of go in one ear and out the other. It happens to me all the time. So just a few questions to kind of get that cemented into your brain. So after that's kind of how you would go through a lesson. And then afterwards, we have our tax layer practice, and I'll show you where tax layer is in just a minute. But we have 4 returns that we're going to go through, and you'll see here I have PDFs uploaded of our 4 returns, and then an information document that just has some extra information in addition to their intake forms. And we're not going to do the whole return all at once. We're going to be breaking these up so that we're just entering a little bit into each return each week. So don't let that feel overwhelming. The other thing I wanted to show you is right now you can see we have 4 tiles. We're going to work our way up to 12. And I'm still in process uploading videos and such. So if you see a tile with the sneaker, it means that you are catching up with me. So, so that course, those lessons are not complete. The materials are not complete yet. So I'll be inviting you all. You can see we've got a few members here. I'll be inviting you all into this Asana Workspace, and you can look around, and it should help you kind of organize your way through the course. Now, I talked about the Link and Learn website, and this is the website where you will go. You're going to create an account, and once you create an account, you sign in, and this is where the certification tests take place. In addition to Link and Learn, we have our practice lab in TaxSlayer. TaxSlayer is the software that we're going to be using, or our clients will be using, in order to prepare returns. So you can get into the practice lab area here. And I'm already signed in. It will prompt you to sign in. And once you've created your account, there's some instructions for that on Asana. So you can see here, I have some returns that I've created in the past, just practice returns. You'll notice that up here, you can change your tax year. We only have 2020 right now. That's okay, because we're just going to be getting used to what the software kind of looks like and its flow. A little later in the season, they'll be adding 2021. And when you do your exam, you'll want to make sure that you're entering those returns into the 2021 software, because it'll be a little bit different. But the same basic flow applies. So I also wanted to show you here on YouTube, you can see we have a channel, VITA at WSUV Training Central, and this is just where I'm uploading the slideshows of the lessons. So you can access these if you can't make meetings. This is where you can get the lesson the same as we're going through in the meetings. And then the last thing I wanted to show you was this Link and Learn tax training. And if we go back to our certification login, you'll see this Link and Learn taxes lessons. You can click on that link, and that takes you to these lessons. And this is where I'm getting my information from. It's where you can do the skills check. You'll see here we have our questions here, and then it just has check my answers. It's really low pressure. There are a couple of topics for filing status and for dependents. I'll ask you to go to the skills workout, and it'll give you more questions. And that's just because those can be a little bit of a tricky topic. And the more practice you can get with it, the better. But again, it's low pressure. Don't worry if you get stuff wrong. Just, In fact, sometimes getting stuff wrong is better, because then you go back and look it up and figure out why. So that kind of concludes my travel through our materials, and hopefully I've answered a lot of your questions. If you still have questions, please feel free to reach out with email. I'll be there to answer and support you through this process. And again, thank you so much for being interested in participating in this program. It's a program that's near and dear to my heart. And I know we are going to have a really good time doing this.